What's going on, Port fans? Welcome back to another video on the channel, and today we're going to be previewing round 14. It's Port Adelaide versus GWS this Sunday at NG Stadium. It's had a name change, that one, so I had to get that right. But it's Sunday at 3:30, the last game of the round. I'm very much looking forward to this one. We're back from the bye, so it's good to have a little break. I hope you have enjoyed a football-free weekend without Port Adelaide and all the worries and angst that comes with watching our beloved team. And I'm looking forward to getting back into the thick of things and hopefully setting ourselves up for a better second half of the year. But obviously this game as well is against a fellow top 8 side, GWS, who will be looking to make a good, nice fight back after losing to Hawthorn last week by a goal down in Tassie. GWS have been a team that haven't been in greatest of nick of the last few weeks, with close games coming as well. So I very much think this one will be pretty similar. So let's get straight into it, Let's get straight into this one and preview Port Adelaide versus GWS. This game has a lot about it that I think could set up both sides for the remainder of the year. Now, Port Adelaide in particular, we're going to focus on them because we're a Port Adelaide channel and we're looking forward to Port being back after the bye. There is a lot about this game that spells a Port Adelaide disaster, but it also spells a rejuvenating win against a fellow top 8 side who... Port are capable of winning this game. We haven't played in the at GWS at their home ground since, I think, 2013. The rest have either been at Adelaide Oval or in Canberra. This game is the first time ever we've been up here in 10 years, which is insane. And it's one that has me a little bit worried. I think, it's the excitement of, being back after the bye. I think it's also the nerves of how much does that Carlton loss affect Port Adelaide? What have we done in the week off to make a few changes? What's going to be different? What are we going to do with Charlie Dixon? Connor Rozee comes back. All of these questions and simulations run through your head where you're not sure what's going to happen. And this is the unpredictability of being a Port Adelaide fan, and especially against a side like GWS, who are a bit unpredictable at the moment. Their best is very, very good. We know that. But at the moment, they're stumbling and they're gettable, which means... that's why Port Adelaide need to make the most of this week, come back fresh and actually put on a performance to suggest that we are more than just making up the numbers in the top 8. And, with games like, with teams, like Essendon and, Melbourne crumbling a little bit and losing their way a touch. And, we're going to make the most of these opportunities to beat the fellow top 8 sides that aren't in the greatest of nicks and come into the next 4 games with good, motivation, because our next 4 games for Port are GWS, are Brisbane at home, St Kilda away, and the Western Bulldogs at home. 4 very crucial games against sides. St Kilda the least of the more danger, but the Dogs are very handy. The Lions are coming into good form, and GWS, as I mentioned, are stumbling, but also have their best footy to play. A lot of these teams are fighting for top 8 spots. That's including us. So if we can come out of this next 4-week bracket after the bye, get, I think, 4 wins is, if we're a genuine contender this year, 4 wins comes from this. But not looking too far ahead, we've got to focus on GWS, who have a very stellar backline. They have a very settled, I think, midfield. They're missing, Canelio and Kelly, so a lot of the players are sort of having to stand up. Their mid-tier players are having to stand up. They've got a lot of young talent. Toby Green was pretty quiet last week against Hawthorn, so I have no doubt he's going to come out and play a crucial role. I think with their setup down forward, obviously Jesse Hogan's the star player and very capable of kicking 6 against us. He did kick a few goals last year in the semi-final, which definitely hurt us. And the reasons we brought in Sava Radicale and Zerk Thatcher and stuff like that, and players like that, were the fact that big key forwards like Jesse Hogan take advantage of our backline. So this is a week that's got to perform. You look at our midfield. Are we going to stand up with a Zach Butters tag? We get Rozee back. So does that help the influence of everyone else in the team, the opposition team, not knowing who to tag? Horn Francis has been a good nick and was very, very good against GWS in the first game we played against them last year in the Heritage Round game that we played at Adelaide Oval. Does our forward line mix? What does that look like? Is Dixon going to play? Finlayson, is he going to be sub again? Is Ollie Lord going to get a go? it's all these question marks around our side at the moment. Obviously, a lot of it will be answered in selections, which we won't know till Friday. I'm recording this on Wednesday, I'm putting it out Thursday. So a lot of answers between now and then will come out, and the information is going to be answered. But this telltale of what will work and what won't be told until Sunday. So I strongly think with the mix that we have right now, there's a lot of question marks. And you know what? Either way we go, I'm still not 100% sold. And I think that's a lot of Port fans' feeling at the moment is, we could throw Finlayson and Marshall and Georgiadis in there, and we're going to be like, maybe we need a bigger body. So then we throw in Ollie Lord. But then Ollie Lord's there, and it's like, not enough time up in the AFL, and has just come back from injury. So you're questioning mark that. Throw in Dixon. Hasn't been great lately, not in terrific form, and is becoming a liability with his age. What we have to think about now is, and then obviously you think about, Rioli's a massive out, but does he come back in, or do we rest him another week? This is a lot of rambling, and it's a lot of question marks, and it's a lot of thought processes that have been going through this bye. With GWS, they're very tall, they're very big, and they're very agile. Their back line is terrific. They're probably going to get Buckley back this week down there. So you got Sam Taylor, you got Buckley, you got the likes of Iden, Himmelberg is down there. They're all very, very good movers of the football. Whitfield as a kicking option. They have good players down there. They're a very settled lineup. They're just out of form. They're not producing as well as they would like, and Adam Kingsley will definitely work on that. And I strongly think they're going into this game, they're probably still favourites because we don't know what Port are capable of. And there's obviously that doubt against bigger sides and better sides and top 8 sides, But this is where you come out and you say, right, we've been for the last 2 weeks since the Carlton game labelled pretenders, labelled bullies and flat track bullies and all of this nonsense that's come out. And it's very valid, it's very true and very well deserved. So what's Ken Hinkley going to do about this? And what are the players going to do to turn around and say, no, we're not this, we're actually going to prove a point now? This is where the bye becomes a real focus. The only problem I have with coming off a bye and playing GWS is we're 4-6 coming off a bye. So 4 wins, 6 losses against the opposition after the bye. So when we come off a bye, and that's under the Ken Hinkley's tenure. That concerns me a little bit, especially playing away from home. A lot of those have been away from home games. A lot of them have been against Geelong, actually, which is quite interesting. But I think the way we're going to utilise this game this is the game for me that tells me, right, what are we going to do for the rest of the season? If we can't beat GWS, I'm not going to be believing in anything. But who knows what will happen? I'd love to know your thoughts. There's a lot of rambling, but I really rate GWS. I'm a big fan of them. I think they're great. Their social media team is fantastic. Adam Kingsley, obviously an ex-Port boy, premiership player, and has been a fantastic coach. I love their youngsters. They're a very likeable but very arrogant side, and they know exactly how to get under your skin. So if we can come up to their home ground and prove a point, I think this is the week to do it, and prove a point not only to the opposition and everyone else out there, but prove a point to ourselves to say, yeah, we can do this and we've got the motivation to do it. So I'm looking forward to it. In a big clash, a big Sunday Arvo clash, I'm tipping Port Adelaide to win by 13 points. Unlucky 13, but lucky for us because we're winning by that much. Be a close game. I don't know where we win the game. I just feel like an overall defensive performance does the job. Our pressure has been really good. I think our pressure stands up still. It's just got to be applied to the ball carrier from the middle. If we can get that right, I definitely think we're capable of taking it to the next step and getting this job done. But 1 week at a time, we focus on GWS and we become the Giant Killers this week. Thank you very much for watching, everyone, and particularly Port fans as well. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new for plenty more Port Adelaide and AFL content to come your way. The latest episode of The Glass Table is out, episode 49. Check us out. Make sure you give it a watch and give a comment below as well. But thank you so much for watching once again. My name is Anthony, and as always, count the bear.